Howdy, y'all. Well, got another video for the 44 barrel in the scopes. Sent this back to Burris. They said they did a comprehensive test on it, shocking it and all kinds of stuff. Found no problems with it. So they sent it back to me. So, if this wasn't the problem, the rings or the base has to be the problem. So I very seriously doubt that my bullets were that bad as they were. Like I was saying, that I shot a 5-shot group at a normal, size target that they sell at ranges, and 3 out of 5 hit it at 50 yards, and I know that's something's wrong. So, on advice of CW, I asked him what Picatinny rails was good. I know he likes using those Leopolds and stuff like that, but I already had these rings, so I didn't want to buy another set of rings. So I asked him about Picatinny rails. He suggested the E. Arthur Brown ones and these, and I went with these. Mainly because they're longer. What I was wanting to do is try to push these rings out as far as I could. I mean, they're not too bad right here, but sometimes you get too close to the turrets, it messes them up. So I want to spread them out a little bit. See if I can do that. And see how much we can push them out. Get them further out here. The other thing too is, I use Loctite, the blue stuff here, but picked up some of this on the advice of CW too. So we're gonna try these out. I think what I'm gonna do too is make up some bullets, probably some jacketed bullets, test them out. Let's see. Oh, there are the screws. So let's see, I thought there were supposed to be some screws with it. Comes with screws with it. They are supposedly torque screws. Yep, torque driver screws. So let's see here, where are we at? Let's get this off of here. Man, the base doesn't feel like it's loose, but I don't know. Kind of wondering if I'm just, when I machine these weavers to accept the Picatinny, maybe I got them off and it's torquing up the scope. I don't know. It shouldn't been, because the way I was holding it in the vise and cutting across, it should have been square. Screws, driver's a little big. Let's see. A little too thick. Yeah, come on out of there. I know I had them tight. Don't feel it. I mean, you can't feel it moving or anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this off. Let's see if I can get it out here. I know I had them torqued up, but jeez. All right, I mean, it looks fine to me. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean these holes out. Some acetone, get them cleaned out so the Loctite will work. We'll get all this mounted back up, and we'll be right back. All right, let me show you something. As a machinist, drilling and tapping holes, especially blind holes and shallow holes. Blind holes not so bad, but a very shallow hole and on a radius, you cannot chamfer it. Usually you put a chamfer on it so that when you put the threads in it, those threads aren't, they're below the surface technically. Well, these were probably done with a dull tap, possibly. It doesn't really matter if it's dull or not. When you got this radius, you're moving metal around. Even though you're supposed to be cutting it, it's moving too. And it had burrs all over this where the metal got raised up a little bit. So I took a file and filed it all down good, nice and smooth. We'll get it cleaned up. We'll put some bluing back on it, and you'll never know it ever happened. All right, there it is. I mean, you can see a little bit of it, but it's going to be underneath the scope mount. And if you put the original sights back on it, it's covered up anyway, so you don't see it. But it's blued up. Now I polished it a little bit, blued it, wiped that off, polished it again, blued it again, and then I wiped it down with some oil. So now I got to go in there and get the oil back out of the threads. All right, something I wanted to show y'all. Now, this has 0 MOA. Okay, they make a 20 MOA. But I want to show you something here. It's about 273 on that end. About the same on that end. So basically this thing is parallel. These Thompson's contender barrels, 803. We'll catch it right out here in front of they're tapered. I can kind of catch it right here, pretty close, about 800. So they are tapered, so that means that this thing is actually laying like that, so it has a little bit of MOA built into it. Okay, through the magic of cameras, all done. Yeah, used the new Loctite stuff, whatever. It's the VC3 Vibra Tight. That stuff you shake it up. It's pretty thin. You shake it up really good. Apply it to the screw. and then let it dry a minimum of 10 minutes. It said 10 to 30 minutes before putting them in. I did that. Figured out where I wanted the rings at, and obviously we got them out pretty close to the edges. Got it away from the turrets, which I really like. Everything's works now. That's 2.5. That's 7. Got plenty of eye relief. One of the things I do is the way I like doing it after I touch off the screws with a screwdriver is these are supposed to be to 25. I set it at 10. So put them in and then go to 15, then I go to 20, then I go to 25. And then I let them set for about 15-20 minutes, and I come back and do it again. Same thing for the top. And remember, these Discovery rings, these are the 70-75 rings. You know, they're serialized so you can't mix up the tops. They're pinned so they're always in line. And then you got the 1, 2, 3, and 4 torque sequence on it at 20 inch-pounds. And I put the red, that Vibratite on those screws too. So, got all that mounted up. Now, I'm going to look at getting some jacketed bullets, make up a couple loads. Get started with that to get this thing sighted in, make sure my cast bullet's just not doing what it should be, even though I know it should be because I've done an inch group or so at 50 yards. So we're just going to have to tinker with it and make sure what's going on. But I have some already here on the shelf, some bullets, jacketed bullets. We may try to load some of those. And I may go looking at something else to load up to just to see. So, may look into some of them, some Hornady's, FTXs. Might look at some of those. So, anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching, everybody.